Hey guys, I bought a VW T2 camper van a couple of years ago. It's about 10 years old now. And, it's getting on in years, so there's a few things that are going to go. One of the things that stopped working so well has been the tap for the sink. So I went and picked up myself a new Comet Novo Super faucet tap. You can see this guy right here. It's got the electrical lead on one end. It's got the, this is the adjustable spigot, so it has a variable pressure, and the tap that comes up and down. So I'm going to put this guy in and maybe show you a couple of steps along the way on how to do it. So this is the installation video. It's not the uninstalling video. You can see here that I've already taken out the old tap here. We've got a 3/4 inch hole at the corner of the tap where that used to be, and theoretically this guy should fit right into that hole. So the first thing I tried to do was just go in through the drawer that's underneath here to get down in behind there so I can reach the tap, but that's a little bit more difficult because I didn't want to take out the sink pan. But after trying that for a little bit, I went ahead and took the sink pan out. So the first thing we're going to want to do is there's 4 screws right here in the corners here. We're just going to unscrew those and lift this pan out, and I'll show you what that looks like in a second. So after you take those 4 screws out of the 4 corners there, the one thing you're going to want to do is detach the drain pipe from the bottom there, which is just a single screw right in the center of this drain. The only other thing you got to watch out for, now that all the screws are out, is there's a rubber gasket underneath the sink pan. So when you want to lift that up, you just want to be careful that you don't disturb that. The sink pan comes right out, and you can see this rubber gasket right here that goes all along the edge. Okay, so now you can see the pan is out, and we can take the drawer out as well. And you can see that we have the water line coming in over here, and the electrical connection right there. Now, I've had this problem once before where I dropped the water line, so I'm going to tie a string on that, learning from my mistake. So if it falls down behind again, I don't have the problem of trying to retrieve it. Okay, so I've tied this string to it now, so if it falls again, I won't have a problem pulling it back out. But yeah, we have the electrical connection that comes in, that's wired straight to the leisure battery, and we have this is the drain that we unscrewed earlier. And what I did was, for it to connect to the Comet Novo Super tap, I took the main feed line, which is the blue line that's coming off of the submersible pump, and just used a standard clip there and attached this flexible hose, which has this ball attachment on the end of it. So this guy should fit right into the Novo Super, the Comet tap, without the need for the blue connector on here. So I should be able to just take that out and plug this guy directly into it. So this blue guy here, you should be able to just give it a firm pull and it should come straight out. Let me see if I can do that. There you go. Just gave it a good pull. And you'll notice that this connector on here, right there, is the same as the connector on the flexible hose that I attached. So the Comet Novo comes with a washer, or actually it's a nut that attaches from the underside, and the sealant washer that goes over, protects the water from leaking through. So you take this guy and you want to feed it over the electrical connection, like that, and have that sit right on right next to the base. So that'll keep water from leaking in. Then you want to feed the electrical connection down through the hole, like that. Put the tap right on top, and then you want to take the washer, or the nut, and screw it on over the electrical connection as well, and right up underneath this guy. Okay, now I've got the tap all screwed in nice and tight, attaching the washer underneath here. There's not a lot of room to work around in there, so it took a little bit of fiddling, but it does get on there nice and tight. This guy moves up and down, and this guy, the micro switch, you can see is still working. The next thing we're going to want to do is take the water feed and push it straight up into the connector that's underneath there. Let's see if I can get this guy to go in first try. And you should hear a click when it pops into place. Oh, there it goes. It just clicked. So next thing I want to do is test the electrical connection, whether it's actually going to push some water. Now, I haven't tried this before, but since there could be some water coming out of this guy in a minute, I'm going to hopefully attach a water bottle here, and maybe that'll catch any of the water that comes out. So here's the electrical connection coming from the vehicle, and I put some electrical tape over the connectors. Now this is a switch, so both ends of these are live, and if I touch these two together, theoretically the pump will turn on in the reserve tank, and water should start being sent to this tap here. Now I can hear that the pump is running, but the tap hasn't been pushed yet, hasn't been connected. So that's good enough to know that the pump is actually going. I can hear that turning on. And I'm going to turn on the micro switch just a little bit and see if actually any water comes out of this guy. And there it goes. There's a little air in the line, so I can see that that's actually pushing some water, and it's not a problem. So the next thing we're going to want to do is connect these guys up to the tap itself, so that it'll come on when we turn the tap. To make the electrical connection, I've gotten a couple of these guys here. Now you just you put one end from the lead from the car into one end, and then in the other end you put the lead from the tap, and then you screw down these tiny screws in here, and that should make the electrical connection. Okay, that's half done. I have the connectors on either side of the part that's attached to the tap. The next thing is to attach the leads from the car to those blocks there. Okay, I've got that all wired up, and a positive and negative on these guys. It's whichever one you You can screw it into either side because all you're doing is completing the circuit. It's not, there's no power and ground on these guys. So anyway, I've screwed them all in, and theoretically the electrical connection is made there. So let's try it again, turning it on, and see what happens. Yep, getting water. It looks like it's got a little bit more air in the line, but that looks like it's complete. So now that this is all wired up, we can take the bottle out of here. We're not going to need that because we're going to put the sink pan back in and get rid of that. This electrical connection, I'm going to want to put some electrical tape around this just to make sure everything stays snug and doesn't short out or anything. So the last thing you want to do is in the middle of the night have a short go off and water starts coming out of this guy. So the next thing we're going to want to do is put some electrical tape on these guys, put the pan back in, and reconnect the drain pipe off of this guy. Okay, so you can see I've got these guys just bound up with a little bit of electrical tape, and that way they'll stay close together, and I can attach it to the back wall here so that it doesn't get moved around when the drawer comes in and out. Okay, here's the sink pan. Fit this back in just where it was so that the holes all line up again. And like I said, you want to keep track of the seal that comes on the pan. Make sure that's attached properly. It looks like it hasn't moved around too much. Let's go ahead and attach the drain connection first. So here's the drain pipe underneath here. I can line that up on the exit. The screw goes back down through the center and lines up with that guy. So I just need to take a screwdriver now and let's put it on the other way. Obviously you want to make sure this is pretty tight so there's a good seal when it does drain. Now I'll take these screws that came out of the sink pan originally, see if I can't line them up with the original holes. All right, that should be it. Pan's nice and secure. It's got the seal around it. The drain has been attached. And theoretically, this guy. And you can see it comes with quite a bit of pressure, or it can be adjusted down to a little pressure. It tucks away nicely. So that was how to put in the Comet Novo tap into your VW T2 van. Thanks.